Hey everyone, today's video I am covering a platform that I find really interesting called 11th Estate. Now I just recently got started with this platform because they're actually going to help me with a specific investment that I'm involved in. And that's really why I am recording this video, is because I want to help other people. As you know, if you follow my channel, you've learned about my background, you see why I care about investors, everyday do-it-yourself investors, pretty much like myself. And so 11th Estate is doing something fascinating. So you're actually looking at their platform right now. So let's see if I can do this. Yep, right up there is their platform. You're looking at it, 11thEstate.com. And essentially what they do is they can help you recover investment losses, especially if a company misled investors or lied or broke securities law. But the best part is they do it for you automatically. So if you connect your portfolio, so I'm just going to click this connect portfolio button. Now here we are on their connect portfolio page. Now I go ahead and pick one of these brokerages that I'm connected to, and I can have my portfolio instantly synced with 11th Estate. And as you connect your portfolio to 11th Estate, they will automatically track your holdings for upcoming class action lawsuits. Now, I have to say, one thing that's really cool about this is you can just see the sheer size of some of these lawsuits. I'm going to move my camera here because I really want you to see this. So you can see they have trending cases down here as I scroll down on the page. One of which is Apple, another is Alphabet. You can see Zoom video as well. Well, this is a pretty large settlement case. This is $490 million. That's how much Apple is settling a current class action lawsuit for. And if you held Apple at any point in these timeframes, or Google at any point in these timeframes, you have a chance, essentially, to get a claim on this class action settlement. Now, most investors have no idea they can do this. They essentially don't follow the news for this. They don't follow the legal system. They have normal lives. They've got kids, a family, a job. It's really hard to follow the lawsuit cycle. It's the paperwork alone takes hours just to read through. But if you're on 11th Estate and you happen to be involved in a case because a company did something that they weren't supposed to do, you can get a link like this, right? So I'm on this Apple link here. And it's ridiculously easy to follow. I love this. So this is the Apple case page, but you can search for any company. So let's just think you want to search for Amazon. Let's find out if Amazon has any cases out right now. And there is a case out at this very moment. And what's this case about? Unfair practice case. Now, this is what's also cool about 11th Estate is you may find that some of these cases are actually directly related to not only the investors and shareholders of the company, but also, the actual users of the company. So it's if you actually, let's say, are an Amazon seller, or you were an Amazon Prime holder, or you run your business through Amazon, you probably want to even check this case out because you may come to learn that some of this applies to you and what you've brought to the platform. Now, I don't know if you can join the case if you weren't an investor, but still, it is so interesting to see here. Investors suspect Amazon of hiding unfair business practices. Several claims were filed in Washington by affected stockholders. And you can scroll through here to read all of the key details, events, and happenings, and get a feel for what this case is. I'm going to go back, though, because I think the Apple case right here that we were looking at is the most fascinating. And by the way, there's literally a button that says collect payout. I can click collect payout. And then all I have to do is follow this walkthrough, and I will quickly determine if I have a chance at this payout. So have you bought or acquired Apple securities between November 2nd, 2018 and January 2nd, 2019? If the answer is yes, click yes. You're probably already at that point starting your way to eligibility. Are you a current or former employee of Apple? Now, most likely, if you're doing this, you're an investor. You're probably not an employee. So you can click no, go ahead and click continue. Then all of a sudden, it would appear that we've got a shot at the payout, and all we have to do now is fill out the key information here about who we are, where we live, and other details. And just like that, we can essentially start our way to getting a specific payout for this case because we held Apple during that time and we were impacted by it. Now, there's a few more things I want to review about this platform that I think really just makes it fantastic. So, first of all, like I said, I've never felt that it was this easy to follow cases. Now, before 11th Estate existed, I don't know how you would, I really have no idea how you would follow a case like this in all of the developments. So my favorite part about this page for this case, if I am, of course, interested, and by the way, you can see, enter payout account data, sign agreement, upload confirmations. But my favorite part about all of this actually is if you scroll down, you can see the case history here provided by the 11th Estate team with key dates, and you can track the whole case, like what happened start to finish. Okay, March 19th, 2024. That's when it was first announced that Apple is settling $490 million with shareholders. March 20th, Apple shareholder suit dismissed. June 13th, Apple sued over iPhone sales. June 13th, California judge rejects Apple iPhone slowdown settlement. June 13th, Apple investor seeks approval of $490 million settlement. June 25th, the final hearing scheduled for the Apple investor settlement, and it looks like that is scheduled for 9/3/2024. So this little case history quick update system is really cool because you can kind of track the drama also in real time. It looks like the case got filed, then it got dismissed, then they got sued again, then it would appear a judge rejected it, but then the investors brought the case back up. You can really just see it all unfold in these line items super easily. Also, for those of you, if you don't know whether or not this platform even applies to you, every page here with a specific securities class action lawsuit has these key facts for you to better understand how you fit in. So you can expand these and read about your eligibility. Do you have to sell your securities? How much will your payment be? How long does the payout process take? All of this good stuff. And actually, this is pretty interesting about how much will my payment be. So let's actually read this on this video review. If you happen to be an investor who held Apple and you want to be a part of this $490 million settlement, it says, the final amount depends on your specific trades and the number of investors participating in the settlement. If 100% of investors file their claims, the average payout will be $1.33 per share. In some ways, this is probably them calculating that this thing that Apple did, which we'll get to, amounted to a $1.33 change in the share price. So if you held 1,000 shares, you're going to get more than $1,000. If you held 100,000 Apple shares, you're going to get over $100,000. Although typically only 25% of investors file claims, so in this case, the average recovery will be $5.32 per share. Now, this is a really cool feature if you are smart enough to embrace a platform like this to connect your portfolio and have it watch sort of what's going to happen next, is most people are simply not aware of this feature. That if you have a platform like this watching these cases for you, fighting on your behalf to get you the settlements, getting your data involved in the settlements, collecting checks from the settlements, you then get to access a settlement pool that isn't 100% claimed. So at times they will actually divide the claims up so you get more because there's so much money just sitting off to the side that no one claimed. So although typically just 25% of investors file claims, the average recovery will be $5.32 per share. This, by the way, is fascinating to me that there are this many lawyers and this much, legalities going on in the securities industry where people have probably been getting stupidly wealthy just making bank basically on the simple fact that most investors never file their claims. And then those who are actually involved and maybe want to keep it a secret, they're deeply involved in the court cases, end up collecting what everyone else does not collect. And by the way, on 11th Estate's blog, if you go check out their blog, you'll see some really nice educational articles. And I think the key thing about those educational articles that you'll find is some 75% of investors who could collect money from these settlements never do it. And so 11th Estate is just changing that. This is one of my fintech reviews. If you watch my channel, you know I care deeply about investors like myself, retail investors, people trying to build their own portfolio. And it's about time we got a tool like this. So I connect my portfolio. Let me move my camera just one second. I connect my portfolio, and 11th Estate does the rest. Now, I should say one thing that is also pretty neat is if you click all cases, you can see all of the cases happening on 11th Estate at this very moment. And you also have filters, so you can do specific filters. If you want to type in a company that interests you or a specific asset class, you can do that. You can also click advanced here and you can really narrow it down to find out what's going on. Now, if you are interested in perhaps, getting involved in the legal side, maybe helping some of these cases or knowing what's going on, or maybe you know a way to sort of trade or invest off of all these cases, you can use these advanced filters to find cases happening all over the country for all different kinds of asset classes. And you might find that rather useful if that's something you're interested in. I'm sure there's a lot of lawyers out there who actually just make a pretty good living following these cases and getting involved. How can they help? Who can they represent? So this is also a database for not only investors but people who are interested in the legal field and how it relates to class action lawsuits. Now, I do want to go back to 11th Estate and scroll down here because I thought this was great. You can see they've got this Stanley AI product. I'm going to go ahead and click this. Let me move my camera so you can really see all of Stanley here. I think that's good. So Stanley AI, I think, is now like a very important feature. And here's why. You can see it says handle paperwork here and deliver payouts. So you connect your portfolio to 11th Estate, and their AI tool will essentially scan your portfolio over time and identify if there are settlements and recoveries that you could be involved in that you don't know about. Now, I would wager if you've bought over 20 stocks in your lifetime in your brokerage and you connect your account, I would wager that at least one of those companies, Stanley AI, will find that you're missing out on a recovery of some sort. And what's great about this is they handle the paperwork. So they're going to generate all the documents, get all the forms ready, and do all the claim processes for you. You just have to connect your portfolio and get started. They'll even deliver the payouts as well. So you can see here, Stanley distributes recovered cash directly to your brokerage account. I love this. Security is always important. You can see all of the different key compliant features that the 11th Estate Data Center does comply with, whether it's GDPR, ISO, SOC 2, and more. And essentially the key here is just connecting your portfolio and your work is done. Now, how does 11th Estate get its money? Because that's obviously a key thing. They're a business after all, so they don't just do this for free. Well, the key thing here about 11th Estate and how they earn their money is by, I believe, and this is on their website as well, by getting more people involved in these cases, by being sort of your investor protector, they get to take a small percentage fee of everything that they help claim or help investors claim. So it's really powerful because if they are helping to claim things for investors, their incentive is aligned with the investors. They want more claims, they can get small percentages, and it adds up from there. So their incentives are aligned with the investor community because the more people they help, the more people that they find to help get these settlements, the more transaction volume they can generate. Now, I've scrolled down on their website here, just look at their investors and partners. I always think it's great to see specific partners or investors involved because, after all, investors and partners do due diligence into a product. Oftentimes, companies don't just invest or partner with someone without knowing the founder, knowing the product, trying it out. So you can see they've raised money from Social Leverage, Blank, Outside VC, and they've got partnerships with StockTwits and TradingView. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and click into this TradingView feature, which is pretty neat. So if you're on TradingView, you can get this news directly from 11th Estate, which is a custom news feed telling you about all of the settlement cases that are going on. So just by having access to this news feed, if you happen to be a TradingView user, you can get a feel for what settlements are happening, what cases are trending, how much money is involved at this point in time. So long story short, this is a part of my FinTech review series. I review FinTech products across the web. This is one that I'm really excited about as of recently. I just love the aspect of helping investors like myself. I've always heard about these types of cases. I've never gotten involved. But by connecting my portfolio, if I ever traded or invested in any of these, I can get a payout. Peloton right now is going through a $13.9 million settlement. Now, I don't want to go too deep into this Peloton settlement, but here are the details. I do, though, want to tell you about something that is interesting to me, which I forgot to bring up earlier. And if you stuck around, this might be a very unique case of alpha, I suppose you could call it. So here is the Apple settlement for $490 million that is currently, in process. Okay. Now, this settlement starts from November 2nd, 2018 and ends on January 2nd, 2019. So you had to have held shares from that time period to be eligible. Now, here's what's really interesting. Let's say you bought Apple shares in this time period and you've held them the entire time. You are still eligible to claim that $1.33. Now, Apple is up a significant amount since 2018. I think it's up more than 100%. So this is what's really cool about this. So let's say you held Apple this whole time. You're up more than 100%, and you get a piece of this payout. That essentially just adds to your net gains on the stock. So you are about, if you do get to be a part of this settlement, and let's see, how much will my payment be? Let's say you bought tons of shares and you've held them the whole time. The average payout will be $1.33 per share. You essentially are lowering your cost basis by $1.33 per share because you're getting that money back. And by the way, you can read into the case to understand why you're getting that money back. It literally says right here, Apple has agreed to settle $490 million with investors to resolve claims that CEO Tim Cook hid declining iPhone demand in China. So there was some sort of mismanagement, something Tim Cook was not supposed to do or say or report, and he did it anyways. And the investor class and the legal system caught on to that, and that's how this case got started. So you've got your convenient timeline right here to learn more about the case as well. So anyways, I hope by watching this video you learned something new, not only about this new product, 11thEstate.com, and how to use it and what it is. And there really isn't this in-depth tutorial beyond connecting your portfolio and letting them do the hard lifting for you, but also that there's a whole other part of financial markets that us everyday investors who are building our own portfolios, we've trained ourselves, we've learned ourselves, we've taken our own risk, now have access to. So I think this is a very important tool for people who wish to learn more about securities class action lawsuits and specifically how that applies to the investor community. It has not, from my understanding, for as long as I've been in this industry, I've yet to see a tool that offers this. And so I think that's very important. And I look forward to testing it out. So I will provide some updates on this in the future, and I hope that this video just at least gives you some understanding of what they do and also how it works. And by the way, if you're still sort of looking to learn more about the company or want to learn more, you can check out their blog where they list out some educational resources as well as some announcements, the companies that they've raised money from, and also some of the press releases and partnerships that they have gone on to achieve over the years that they got started. So thanks for watching, and let me know what you think about this product once you get started.